Wild, what up? Going some my blick, wild, what up? Rada dozen nigga dick, wild, what up? Hang with the killers, wild, what up? Dick rider, you niggas dick riders. Dick riders, you niggas dick riders. Wow, what up? Y'all don't even know about that song. I just put y'all on, man. Big Bros of the World, YouTube. We back at it again. We back with another back to the back, man. They said it wasn't gonna be no another one, so always another one, another day, another double, another hoe gonna holler, man. Now, I got these, hey, it's getting crazier and crazier. We got Ohio artists down 2 days later. It sound like Chicago out there. Shit, we gotta see what's to it.
Nobody wins when the
I want is a fuse. I do not want any street justice. No, I do not. All I want is a person that did this to my child to be brought to justice. That's the only thing
Good
that
job,
I
Mama.
want.
Off puck, put a hole in one. Tryna pull us down, they had to pick him up. Big ass hole in his body, you can see his.
I just heard like 5 or 6 gunshots, and I don't know. I just heard kids running and saying that it was a drive-by.
God damn.
I don't know. I was in my room. I heard 6 to 10 shots, and I came running outside, and everybody was screaming.
I ran and got my kids out of their room, and we got in the kitchen on the floor.
911, this is about the shooting.
Yeah, the Astor Drive.
Yep, do you know who did it?
Oh, we don't know. He just got off of work and they caught him in the parking lot before he got to get in the house.
And Trayshawn Smith was murdered.
Put the guns down.
This
That
is
ain't right.
Evie, days after her 20-year-old son was shot and killed at the intersection of West Wyoming Avenue and Elm Street in Lockland.
Anybody that knows my son knows that he's a good-hearted person.
Investigators say the shooting was connected to a rap video Trayshawn made that involved a feud between two groups.
Rapping, dissing the dead,
Damn.
real music has made its
He
way
was
around
trying
the
to
world.
play
And it
too
seems like once you
tough.
diss somebody in a public setting, you gotta understand some people,
it's
emotions
crazy.
and pride, it's not strong enough. So they wanna retaliate, which lead us to what we have here today. But once a body drop, it's a never-ending cycle. Today we talk about a man who was gunned down over a diss song 3 years ago. But now the suspect has finally
Whoa.
got an indictment and wanted for his arrest just 3 years later. As I did my research, it seemed like this young man who was wanted was also a local rapper. Also, his mother spoke, which we'll later speak on. Not to mention, it seemed like this war that's been going on, which leading to other mothers give their opinion about the latest indictment, having a son being lost in this war as well. Now, I may not know everything, but I know enough, so I'm gonna present it to you guys in
It
chronological
sound like
order.
it's
So before
cracking in Ohio. It sound like it's cracking a little too
we
hard.
go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no aim, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Less than 24 hours ago, Cincinnati, Ohio police has came out and said a warrant has been issued for a man who allegedly stole the life of another man over a diss song. But it wasn't just no ordinary diss song that's now deleted on YouTube, and which explains why it wasn't being presented in the news clips. That diss song had dissed a man who lost his life just 48 hours prior. Let me break it down. Cincinnati,
What?
Ohio got this group called MBK, Hustle Hand Boys. And some would say
Hustle
one of the
Hand
leaders or
Boys.
founders
Okay.
of MBK was Rayshawn J. Sanders, also
Okay.
known as MBK Swavu.
We creeping late, all black, trying to see where he live. I know you know about who I am, but never know what I did.
Ohio sound West Coast as a bitch. What the hell?
But on October 20th, 2022, Rayshawn had just
That's
got
how
out of work.
Ohio
He just
sound?
parked his vehicle in the parking lot of the 5100 block of Astor Park Drive, which was his apartment complex parking lot. When suddenly, broad daylight, masked gunmen had pulled up beside him and opened rounds while he was sitting inside the
What?
driver's side of the vehicle. Unfortunately,
right.
he lost his life. May he rest in peace.
That
Left
ain't
condolences to his family. Authorities
Whoa.
say 2 people, Robert J. Morris, 21, and Gennady Allen Holmes, 22,
Oh, hell
have been
no.
arrested and charged in Sanders' murder. Officials say Morris was already in custody in Hamilton County on unrelated charges, while Holmes was taken into custody Tuesday.
2-year-old Kashawn Sanders was shot and killed yesterday on Astor Park Drive, and neighbors in that community say they heard the gunfire just feet away from their homes.
I just heard like 5 or 6 gunshots, and then I don't know. I just heard kids running and saying that it was a drive-by.
Westchester police rushing to the scene after receiving multiple 911 calls for a man shot around 5:45 Thursday evening.
Who did this?
Right after
I
work,
was in my
chat.
room. I heard 6 6 to 10
Oh,
shots,
damn.
and I came running outside, and everybody was screaming.
I ran and got my kids out of their room, and we got in the kitchen on the floor.
When officers arrived, they found 22-year-old Kashawn Sanders with a gunshot wound in a vehicle. You can see the window from this car completely shattered. Sanders was transported to Westchester Medical Center, where he later died.
911, this is about the shooting.
Yeah, the Astor Drive.
Yep, do you know who did it?
Oh, we don't know. He just got off of work, and they caught him in the parking lot before he got to get in the house.
This is the second Westchester homicide investigation just this year. The first was determined to be self-defense. Police on scene Thursday say the violence needs to stop.
We've generally found that the people here in this complex really want us to solve this case. They don't like the violence in their neighborhood, and we're here to help them with that.
No suspect information is being released at this time, but investigators are determined to figure out what led up to this deadly encounter. Now, some of the neighbors we spoke with off camera say they did hear the gunshots just right near their homes, but tell us this is not something new. A child we also spoke with off camera said she was simply just playing outside when she also heard the gunshots and quickly ran home. Reporting live.
Now, shortly after, a guy who go by the name of Trayshawn Smith, 20 years old, was allegedly in opposition to Reshawn, and he decided to drop a music video that his mom claimed was made prior to the demise of Reshawn. But still, the video was dropped, and BK is...
Bob, that don't matter. And they said, oh, you want this? All right, we got you. Our nigga dead now. They don't care. They nigga dead now. They trying to retaliate in any way possible. It could have been you since you dissing. That's how they feel it. Sadly. All you wanted to do was just rap.
Soon, that they beloved member was being dissed, and assuming someone who was allegedly involved is now dissing them in his music. And just 48 hours after Reshawn lost his life, Trayshawn was hanging out with friends at the fountain on Elm Street when suddenly a car drove by and shot him in the head, later fleeing the scene. May he rest in peace. I love a condolences to his family.
God.
To
what the fuck?
Thanksgiving.
Well,
what is wrong
tonight,
with these
the mother
niggas?
of the man shot and killed in Laughlin over the weekend is asking for peace.
Our Courtney King spoke with her in an interview you will see only right here on Fox 19 Now.
Yeah, Trisha and Rob are live outside the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office because investigators along with Laughlin Police are working Trayshawn's case. And we want to show you this. This is a flyer that Trayshawn Smith's mother, Evie, gave to us. It says, "Do you know who murdered my son?" She's also saying tonight that she does not want any street justice in her son's case.
And then at 8:01, October 22nd, they pronounced my son dead.
Evie Smith is still processing her son.
Oh shit. That's the picture they want to use. Now I know my boy got some great, outstanding young man pictures. Why are we showing my nigga? Come on, guys. Why y'all doing my nigga like that? He got some, where's his school picture at? Show my nigga school picture. Why y'all showing his Instagram thug picture? Come on, guys.
Son's death.
You couldn't have paid me to think this would have ever happened to him. Because he is not this type of kid to be out here in these streets to get shot. Like, that's just not him.
Her son, 20-year-old Trayshawn Smith, was shot.
Mom, he thugging. Mom, he's thugging. You ain't just see it? He thugging. Blizzy, he thugging. Or maybe that's what he wanted other people to believe. I don't know.
You couldn't have paid me to think this would have ever happened to him. Because he is not this type of kid to be out here in these streets to get shot. Like, that's just not him.
Like he
Her
in the
son,
streets.
20-year-old Trayshawn Smith, was shot and killed Saturday here in Laughlin at 4:15 in the afternoon.
This is how ruthless these kids has become. It's awful.
Evie says her niece was the one to tell her the news.
Called me and said, Aunt Evie, you need to get down here right now. Trey been shot.
That's
and
tough.
I said, Trey? No, not Trey.
Trey was shot here near West Wyoming Avenue in Elm Street. A memorial of candles and balloons is growing in honor of him.
Always had a smile on his face.
Laughlin Police and the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office are investigating. Authorities have not released any suspect information or a motive yet, but Evie says her son's death could have been over a rap song he came up with months ago.
It's just a senseless crime. Whoever did this to him had a demonic spirit and they need to be prayed for. That's all that I pray for.
On Saturday, Evie and people close to Trayshawn will hold
let's
a
hope
peace
he
march
had nothing
near
to do
where
with it. Let's hope he had nothing to do with it. If he had nothing to do with it, that's some tough shit right there, boy. Damn, why?
he was shot
Walk
and killed.
up and shoot him in front of niece? In front of the niece? What?
I do not want any street justice. No, I do not. All I want is a person that did this to my child to be brought to justice. That's the only thing that I want.
And Evie is also asking people to let the police do their jobs in this case. And if you have any information in Trayshawn's case, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 513-352-3040. You can remain anonymous, and there is a reward in this case. We're live in Hamilton County.
Now, eventually, police interviewed several people over the years. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office had concluded that the shooting occurred between a feud that involved making rap videos disrespecting each other. And police believe Ronell Scott, aka MBK20, was the man who pulled the trigger.
Now my nigga gone and his mama crying, trying to put this naked ski mask on at all times. I promise you if I was diligent.
And almost 3 years since Trayshawn was gunned down, April 25th, 2025, Ronell will have a warrant for his arrest. And though he's still not found, less than 24 hours ago, his mother went to Facebook tagging his Facebook account, which has a hashtag Door for Suave, who is the guy we just talked about who lost his life, who was his home. And the mom had posted this rap song that had a cryptic message in it. Check it out.
Where the paperwork? Niggas talking shit on Instagram, go get some paper first. Life already shitty, play with me, only gon' make it worse. Niggas tired beefing with they self, I never say a word.
Now each his own, but while her son is wanted for murder,
I never life already shitty. Where the paperwork? Niggas talking shit on Instagram, go get some paper first. Life already shitty, play with me, only gon' make it worse. Niggas tired beefing with they self, I never say a word.
now each his own, but while her son is wanted for murder, she posted the guy he allegedly retaliated for less than 48 hours ago, song to her Facebook account while tagging her son. Now she also reposted another mother's Facebook post who made a comment after finding out Ronell was wanted, who I'm assuming another mother's Facebook.
I hate this for Ronell. He was one of Demarion, and he ain't out here celebrating or repping no one involved in Demarion losing his life. And the saddest part about it is if Demarion hadn't died, none of these other boys wouldn't have lost their lives either. Whole fucking chain reaction of senseless murders. RIP to the young man that lost his life. If you don't like what I said, feel free to delete yourself expeditiously. Damn. Wait, Demarion, he ain't out here celebrating or repping no
book post
what
who
you
made a
mean by
comment after finding out Ronell was wanted, who I'm assuming was one of her son's close friend who also lost his life due to this war. She quoted, "I hate this for Ronell. He was one of Demarion's only friends. He ain't out here celebrating or repping no one involved in Demarion losing his life. And the saddest part about it is, if Demarion hadn't died, none of these other boys wouldn't have lost their lives either. A whole effing chain of senseless murders. Rest in peace to the young man that lost his life. And if you don't like what I said, feel free to delete yourself expeditiously." So at this point, fam, you know I had to do my research. It's sad that moms have to go through this, but she assuming that her son losing his life was the reason all this happened. So I had to figure out who was her son and how he lost his life, at least according to public records. And to help narrow down my search, I noticed she made a post about her son. In 2024, she wrote, "It's been 3 years since I had seen you in the flesh. I couldn't put my finger on the reason why I felt a little down today until I looked at today's date. Gone but never forgotten. Tomorrow make 3 years since you left me. You most definitely changed me forever." And knowing that, 3 years from that date is 2021. Then I searched her son's name, later finding out that he lost his life in the Pendleton neighborhood, where later 3 people would get arrested for his demise. Police say they responded to a shooting at around 2:30 a.m. Saturday on a 300 block of East 12th Street near Broadway Street. Police say when they got to the scene, they found 3 victims dead. Authorities identified the victims as 20-year-old Demarion Edwards, may he rest in peace. A love of condolences to his family. Tyler McIntosh, may he rest in peace. A love of condolences to his family. And Josiah Jordan, may he rest in peace. A love of condolences to his family. It seemed they was ambushed in their neighborhood, as they referred to it as the younger generation. They ops had spent the block Although the police wouldn't release the suspect's name, they did mention it was not a random act of violence, adding that the investigation is ongoing and was a part of a gang feud. But none of that mattered for Ronell's mom. Almost 3 years later, she finally would get some form of justice.
A weight has been lifted.
A local mother finding comfort after prosecutors indicted a man for her son's 2022 murder, but the suspect's still on the run.
Hamilton County prosecutor Connie Pillich announced the indictment yesterday, confirming the mother's suspicion that her son was killed over a rap video.
Courtney King spoke with the victim's mother. She is live with more on the story.
Yeah, Trisha and Rob, so you might remember this from when we first spoke with Evie Smith back in 2022. That's when she told us that she believed her son was killed over a rap video. But she tells us that the indictment is bringing her some peace because she was worried that her son's murder was going to go unsolved.
Trayshawn was not only my child, he was my friend.
For more than 2.5 years, Evie Smith has been missing her son, Trayshawn Smith. He was shot and killed near a fountain in Laughlin in October of 2022, but no one had been charged yet.
Because on a daily basis, I have a heavy weight on me, mentally, emotionally, physically, just weight on my body and my mental.
Evie always believed her son's killer shot him over a rap video he made, and Hamilton County prosecutor Connie Pillich agreed. She announced a grand jury indicted 24-year-old Ronell Scott for Trayshawn's murder. She says it happened because of a feud about the video.
But it wasn't to be taken personal, and I think that it was just taking it personal, and it was like, why not just come back with another rap lyric? Because you didn't like the way somebody rapped, just make another song. It's just a rap song.
Evie says her son made the video long before the feud happened. Authorities issued a warrant for Scott's arrest, but he has not been arrested yet.
He's still out here. I do fear for me and my family's life. I do fear for our safety because he has not been captured.
But still, she's grateful someone is being held responsible for her son's death. Evie says it's hard not having her best friend with her anymore.
Just knowing that a person has been indicted, that means that the detectives, that means the prosecutor cared enough to even seek justice for my son. So I am happy with that.
She says Trayshawn wanted to be a firefighter and died 2 weeks before his 21st birthday. Evie says she decided to forgive the man accused of killing her son, but she'll never forget.
I had to forgive because if I know I can't have that burden on my heart. I cannot sit walking around here and have hatred in my heart for nobody.
So again, Ronell Smith has not been arrested yet, so he is not in the Hamilton County Jail, but we'll update you as soon as we get that information. He does face life in prison if convicted on all of those charges. We have the full list of the charges on our website, fox19now.com. We're in the Central Business District with...
Now, as we wrap this video up, I do want to take a moment to send love and prayers to anyone who was affected by the story we just talked about. I know people tired of this like me, but hopefully we helping somebody make the right decision the next time. According to authorities, we just talked about a man who stole another man's life allegedly for dissing his homie who died 48 hours prior. Mothers go on Facebook to voice their concern, and one mother assumed her son was the reason it started. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then.
It's a tough story. It's tough in Ohio, child. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy.